Good morning, Sonic. We've got a great episode for you today, guys. We're going to be talking about everything that you want to know, dude. All the questions you've got. We're going to be talking about what? We're going to be talking a little bit about goggles. We're going to be talking about, for all you newbies out there, how do you get to Sonic? How do you get to Fantom, dude? The Sonic presale. How do you get to Fantom, right? And we're going to be talking about a lot of other stuff. So stick around, folks. You won't want to miss it. You're going to drop some secret knowledge that you will only find here. So stick around. Dracula, let's get started. All right, wait, I got to hit this thing now. Do this. Wait.
Hey. No, I liked that, though, man. It was like, boom.
Yeah, wait.
There's no racing, because if we catch you,
before this episode started, so it's fresh.
Dude, that is the fit, man. Look at this fit.
Yeah, I'm feeling fast. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling, most importantly of all, wealthy, dude. Wealthy in spirit, wealthy in love. You know?
Yeah, I mean the goggles stay on apparently even during the stream. So that's dedication. That's working for it.
I'll say this: they're not fun to wear. These are like tiny goggles made for like a Chinese head, not a big fat head like me, dude. So dude, like,
it would not fit my head for sure.
They're very tight, and I can't really see. They're fogging up. I don't know if you can tell.
The goggles might have to come off if you can't see. I can literally see the fog on them. They might have to come off.
No, dude. The goggles stay on. Okay. I also think it's funny. It feels like it always makes me look like I'm looking up.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, how you doing today, Dracula? How's your weekend, man?
It was pretty good. I've been a little busy. Just in the trenches, brother. You know, working on this goggles thing with the team. It's been a lot of fun. Didn't really expect it to sweep the timeline the way it did, but that's still exciting. You know, everybody's having fun. It's beautiful to see. You know, we've been saying forever that there needs to be some kind of, you know, meme everyone gets behind, and it feels like everybody's just having fun. Nobody's fighting. Nobody's, you know, got those 2021 vibes. So
yeah, I was gonna say, you know, you're saying like it wasn't expected, and I think that's the most ideal outcome. Is it just resonated with people? Everyone just loved it, man. You know, people unaffiliated just making memes because it's fun.
Yeah, I think like it just ended up being something super memeable, and of course you had people like Starge and Funeral and Chill and these guys that are like pro meme makers hopping on it, and there's just like a stream of constant content, and it's all really funny.
We talked about memes last time. We talked about some criteria, right? You know, it's got to be one, memeable. It's got to be something you can make content for. It's got to be something people find funny. And you know what? You found the secret sauce, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it seems like people are having a good time. That's what it's all about. But speaking, you know, about other memes, it happened, guys. We applied the pressure to the man, to the system, and we got those STIMMIES in your pockets.
That's right. You're welcome. Okay, you're welcome, people. The GMSONIC guys who will never leave your side, who will never not back you up. We forced the foundation to acquiesce to our demands.
Yeah, you know, there were some talks over the weekend about Michael Kong abdicating, and there was going to be sort of like a co-CEO role for me and Corville, but we just don't really have time for it right now. So we said, you know what, Kong's doing a pretty good job. You know, we'll continue to monitor. We'll monitor the situation, but you know, he's doing pretty good. So we don't need to have that kind of drama. You know what I mean? The vibes are so good right now.
Yeah, you know, it's like it was just this one thing, you know, he's usually doing pretty good. So I don't think we need to step in and do all that right now. But
yeah, I had to hold Corville back. I mean, he was ready to go in there, clean house. Put in some of those Philly associates in the top level. It was going to be like a real
there.
Yeah. Corville was
on cheesesteaks all day, every day.
Yeah. So yeah, so we did it, guys. We got the stimmies. Still no word on round 3 yet. I hope it happens. But I think that it's like we said before. I think maybe they're weighing the options. Maybe they wait for Sonic. You know, they put a good bit of funding aside, so maybe they're thinking that's better used on Sonic. But yeah, no word quite yet. Yeah, hopefully we get it soon. Beatscoin says, Dracula, you traitor, wear your goggles. I ordered a pair off Temu and they haven't gotten here yet. I'm waiting for them. So
Yeah. Well, you know, it's understandable. Dracula, you know, he's not. Let me show you guys something, okay? This is why I got my goggles so fast. I expedited. I paid an extra $1,000 to get them here ASAP because I got this thing coming at me and I need to be bracing for the winds and the water, you know?
yeah. Yeah, that's
I'm gonna be
good
out
idea.
here, you know, I'm always out there on the streets and, you know, come rain or shine, and I got to survive.
Yeah, this is you know, not to get too off topic, man, but this has like been an insane couple weeks. I mean, and Corval's like literally like getting hit by all these storms. Oh my god, it's gonna pass right over you. So I might need a new co-host. Just I'll keep you guys posted.
Yeah, if you guys don't see or hear from me, give me at least a couple days. Give me at least a week, you know, to make it to civilization if we're completely wiped out here.
Yeah, man. That's
Don't
scary.
don't just immediately throw funeral up here, okay?
Yeah, if we want to like, yeah, I think funeral you're shoe in, so just hang tight. Yeah, like what would be really nice is if you would risk your life and go outside during the storm and do like a weather report with your goggles on.
I would love to do that, and I just might do that. If I do that, I just need some guarantee that we are going to send this thing to 100 million. We're going to send this thing to 100 million market cap, and I'll do it. All right, so guys, be ready. Get your meme ideas ready for seeing me be blown away in a storm. Let's go into the next segment here. I think the people are dying to know. We're relocked, reloaded, and we're recharted. So what do you got for us, Dracula?
Oh my bad. Yeah. Yeah, the good old weekly. Still the Bitcoin weekly is moving as you know, as we're hoping.
Oh no.
Yes,
Dude.
the candles are red, but you know, it's still above the support, it's still above the alpha trend. The cloud
Still the hell line.
Yeah, the hell line.
The line if we go down where it's over for us.
Yeah. So as I said last episode, pretty resilient that it is still just above 60K. You know, it can't the bears cannot tank this thing. They're trying to, but
they're trying to. I'm seeing it all over the timeline. I'm seeing guys saying if you paid attention to the news last Sunday, it's all over. It's all going down. It's all going to zero. I'm seeing this over and over again on the timeline in between little spurts of meme magic. I don't know about you, Dracula. Is that what yours is looking like?
Yeah. I mean, it was like very doom and gloom for a couple days. But we've been seeing this the entire time, you know, and this happens every run. I mean, I don't really know a good way to say this, that being bearish is like a mental illness. Because it's like bears are just so obsessed with like, you know, oh, like it's over, not just for Bitcoin. It's like the world is over, the stock market's over. You know, I feel like you got to be, there's a time though, right? I mean, you can't just be bullish all the time. You know, I mean, I was bearish when it was time to be bearish. And then I felt like when it was time to flip bias, I flipped. It's not an easy thing to do, but if you can kind of, you know, if you can kind of develop your own system of what you like to see and, you know, try to use the data for your bias. Like I said, it's hard. Everybody's got their own emotions and feelings and hopes and whatever. But yeah, I mean, to me, this just says a ton that we're still going through all this macro and they can't bust us under 60K too long. To me, it's huge.
Yeah. I mean, I'm starting to get worried that I'll never be able to buy a Bitcoin below $60,000 ever again, dude. Is that the new reality that we're shifting into? It's kind of what it feels like, dude. They started a war. They've thrown 2 hurricanes at us. What's it going to take?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
got the lizard people on the phone, and you don't want to know what's next.
No. I mean, it's like, it just speaks volumes to me that, you know, we are staying above 60K. I mean, of course, anything can happen, but that's strong to me. Fantom looking great, man. I mean, speaking of resilience, I mean, look at this chart. You would have thought even more so than Bitcoin that, you know, market just had a bad day or something, and we're like right back up. So I like this zone here. I feel like we're probably more so still getting back up here was kind of like back to business. You know, looking at the candles, it still feels like a little bit of consolidation, but you know, this is the daily chart. So, I mean, same thing with Fantom. I feel like we've kind of legged up and the support's holding. Of course, would love for us to get back to that dollar range, but I think for now, you know, this isn't a bad look.
I'm kind of scared of the dollar range, to be honest, dude. I'm kind of scared of it being a dollar. Feels like every time it's a dollar, I get kicked right in the nuts right after.
Yeah, and I mean, that's how these zones are, right? Like, you know, it's going to get slapped so many times trying to bust through, but eventually it's going to. And, you know, the Sonic hype continues to build. You know, still new partnership announcements constantly, all kinds of stuff going on the timeline. I mean, I think that we just continue this climb, and, you know, we got Andre back in the mix.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's back chatting. He's back reply guying. To me, that always says, like, you know, something's coming, right? Something's on the way. You know, we covered it last episode, how specifically Aerodrome, you know, they were kind of beefing, as Aerodrome was they've been sort of trying to like scrub references of Solidly and Andre from all of their stuff. And ever since then, he's been kind of like showing little tidbits of, you know, things he's working on and things that were supposed to be in Solidly. And this one's pretty interesting. You know, what he's saying here is that the real goal was to have like one DEX like formula in the contract that could like handle everything.
One singular God formula. That's what Andre was pursuing. It's almost like the Holy Trinity: stablecoins, volatile pairs, and closely correlated volatile assets.
Yeah, and I mean, it's wild.
And those dogs at Aerodrome wanted to kick him out, dude.
I know.
Sorry, I'm getting a little heated about it, Dracula. You know, it means a lot to me.
Yeah, I mean, this would have been impressive, to be honest. You know, if you're not familiar with how DEXs work, you know, you usually have an algorithm for like volatile pairs, for stable pairs, for sort of stable things. And like, especially for like the Solidly system, you know, the fees were going to like correspond to like whether you were doing like volatile assets or stables. And this would have been pretty big, I think, to, you know, have this one formula that could just like handle everything and handle a mix of things, swapping, and, you know, all kinds of stuff. So I'm curious, you know, he says this was the goal, and I'm not going to bother reading all this stuff because, I mean, I don't understand.
X times Y equals 1. That's kind of up my alley.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to dig into like whatever all this stuff means, but it's an interesting concept. And as we know, you know, Andre kind of had a history in like Forex and some other stuff. So,
does this mean that he is going to release this single unified formula at some point? And maybe because Aerodrome pissed him off, he's going to release it under a more restrictive license. Great.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting, honestly. You know, it's like Is he hinting that he's going to drop it? You know, like what is he getting at? I think he's just kind of walking down memory lane right now, you know, like
he's just reminiscing. This is how Andre likes to reminisce.
I'm sure he's been working on stuff, of course, but I think that, you know, I don't blame him for saying a lot of the things he said last week, because it is kind of crazy that I think he would have left the whole thing alone if Aerodrome didn't intend to slap a license on the code.
Mm-hmm.
So that part is kind of bonkers, right? I mean,
yeah. Can you imagine getting a drink with Andre, like and like these are the conversation topics that you can kind of you have to stick to: quadratic equation, the Doki Doki Literature Club,
yes,
and high frequency 4X.
Yes, an evening of anime and trading algorithms.
Andre, don't be mad, dude. I mean this with all due respect.
With all due respect.
With all due respect. Andre likes Pokemon. I saw that. He said that he remembers all 151. I can relate to him on that. I also remember all 151. I had a little Pokédex when I was a kid. I read it back to back like 5 times. That's a 90s kid thing, guys. If you're a 90s kid, you might get it.
You got the Pokédex like memorized. He's kind of like helping get everything pumped up. Everybody's getting ready. Is it, you know, I've seen some people out there putting out like some educational kind of stuff, trying to onboard people. I think it's interesting right now to think about, you know, what do you tell? Like, I've heard a lot of these last couple of weeks of like, yeah, my friend's asking how to get over. He's on this chain or that chain. You know, bringing the Solana guys over is a little more complicated. There's not like a great way. So I've always been telling people, you know, and this is for you guys too. You know, I really like Squid Router. You could just basically like push people to Squid. It's just squidrouter.com. You know, they got a big X account. You could look them up. But the reason I always kind of recommend it is what I like about it. Let me share this tab instead.
Dastardly new interface. I hate this new interface.
Yeah, the interface is kind of crazy. It takes a minute. It's like you pick your chain and then you pick your token. But what I like about it is that it's not like a one-to-one swap. So you can literally say, you know, hey, I want to swap USDC on Ethereum, and, you know, I want to move it to Fantom as Fantom. So to me, that's pretty nice that they have like a ton of liquidity in a lot of these pairs where, you know, you can move in and out between chains with stables easy. Or, yeah, I mean, if you want to even go over and just, you know, get some fancies, you know, if it's someone's first time coming over, they can literally just, you know, take their Ethereum, BNB, base, I mean, whatever, and just zap right over. Also on Fantom, I think they offer some other tokens. So yeah, I mean, you know, some random ones based. I think that was a Tomb Fork, wasn't it?
Yeah, they only take Axelar or USDC, I believe, right?
Yeah, for stables. I mean, some of the bigger chains, it just depends on like what they have liquidity on for the chain. Like Tether and USDC, you can move around pretty much anywhere. For some of the chains that maybe like the liquidity is not as deep, like Fantom, you have to take Axel USDC, but you know, there's plenty of that floating around on all the dexes. You know, like if you were in a different stable, you could just swap to that and then head over here. But that's one thing I also like though, is, you know, they have a bunch of the eco tokens too. You know, of course, if it's somebody's first time coming over here, you know, tell them just to move some Fantom, you know, bridge it over into Fantom. But yeah, they got a lot of like ecosystem stuff here. You can just like bridge right into.
H creature yippee. Whoa.
No clue what that is.
Whoa. Daddy's liking the look of that. Let me look that up.
Look up TBH creature yippee on FTM scan.
Got me.
Yeah, I'm like really wondering on that one.
TBH creature yippee.
Yeah, we might be about to drop some alpha here, right?
What is the yippee TBH creature? It's a metaphorical one used to help people understand what it's like to live with autism. It's the autistic mascot.
Wow, this is like, okay, like look at this thing. Okay.
This is
Why did everybody get behind goggles? We should have been doing this.
yeah. Yeah, this kind of fits kind of like yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we should have been rolling with this.
All right. Let's see this token. Do they have a website, I wonder? Is there a gender or xeno identity really? Yeah, this is awesome. My girlfriend and I are both autism and transgender. We TB. I feel like I'm going down a rabbit hole here. I'm sorry. Some 3-year-old drew it.
Well, now,
I mean, yeah, it does kind of look.
Yeah, don't start making me feel bad now. This is a real token, huh?
Yeah, it's a real token. 2,564 transfers. The price is free. It's a free token, so it can only go up.
Oh man!
See, this is the beauty of Fantom. You find these hidden gems all over the place when you got your goggles on. You know.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I'm gonna look into this on my own time a little bit more.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, just going back to what we were saying, I do like Squid Router for helping onboard people, just because it's like so easy to blast in from anywhere else. There are like, you know, I don't think I'll get into it. Like I said, I was maybe going to go over some Solana stuff, but you know, USDCE, which is like the main stable on Fantom now. You can move it over from Wormhole, which, you know, Wormhole also works with Solana, but I don't think there's like a direct swap for that yet. Like, I don't think you can just say, you know, take me from Solana to Fantom USDCE. So a little more complex.
Yeah, Solana's got its little moat around it because they don't want us stealing all their users because they know they'd much rather be over here with those real dudes.
That's right.
Guys, you know.
So
yeah, so pretty much is the best way to get over is Squid Router. That's about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like Squid Router. I like Squid Router the best. Of course, hard to go wrong with Layer 0, Stargate. Main thing with Stargate is it's mostly they've kind of like their V2 is a little bit similar to Squid Router, where you can actually Stargate used to only just be like pure stables and like native gas tokens, and now they've moved a little bit into like having like extra tokens with their V2, but I don't think they allow for USDC E on Stargate. So I'll have to look into that. I could be totally wrong.
All right. Very nice. So if you're a little newbie out there and you're trying to join the Fantom party, the Sonic pre-sale, now you got no excuse, baby. You know where to go. Unless I guess you're on Solana, which then I guess pound sand, bro. I don't know what to tell you if you're on Solana.
Yeah, so Stargate doesn't offer USDCE, but they do tether. So, you know, if you're a tether Chad, tethered up on another chain, you prefer Stargate over Squid, you can always go that route. But it's getting easier, man. You know what I mean? It's getting easier to do this stuff. It used to be really, I mean, even like last run, like getting stuff like Bridge to Fantom, and you know, it used to be like this whole ordeal, like trying to figure out like, oh, I can move this, I can move that, I can't move this won't go here. I mean, it used to take like 2 or 3 hops, you know, and that was even using multi. You know, if you guys, you know, multi would be like, oh, I mean, to get the Fantom, I've found this like crazy, you know, I got to go like Ethereum BNB to this to that, then I can finally. So it's getting a lot easier, you know. So of course, the major, a lot of the major centralized exchanges, they do have Fantom, but it's usually the Ethereum version of the token. So be careful with that if you tell somebody to buy it on a centralized exchange. Because I've seen that happen a million times.
Yeah, get into that a little bit. What does that mean if you got it on the centralized exchange?
So basically, there was like a version of Fantom on Ethereum as like an ERC20. So even though people arbit to like keep the prices the same, it's still an Ethereum token. So people would get confused and like buy it on a centralized exchange and then send it to their Phantom wallet, thinking it's just gonna like pop up in their Phantom wallet. And I still see this. Yeah, to this day, I still see this happen.
That happened to me the first few times. I'm gonna be honest with you. I sent my first time ever getting paid in crypto. I sent $2,000 straight from Fantom to Coinbase, and it's just gone forever.
It was just gone. Man,
forever, dude.
That's so sad, dude. That's like,
yeah. I want to cry right now about it still.
Yeah, I had one instance of that last run where I did the same thing with Polygon. I had sent native Polygon to Coinbase when they were only accepting the Ethereum ERC20 Polygon. And it was this wild thing. It was a forced hold because they wrote me, and anyone that's had to deal with Coinbase knows that they're kind of bad about like, they have this very like strict, like hands-off policy. Like there's a lot of like exchanges where if you sent the wrong token and you email support, you know, they'll say, look, you know, it might take a few days or a week or two, but we'll get to it. We'll shoot the tokens back to your wallet, whatever. But Coinbase has always had this very strict, like, you know, if you sent the funds and we don't accept them, we don't touch them, you know, we can't mess with it. So same thing happened. I went ahead and tried to write them. They said, we don't accept that yet. Sorry. You know,
dude, that was exactly what happened to me. They had some contrived ass process where it was like, submit your claim through like a form. It's going to go on a spreadsheet. And if it meets like all these criteria, then we'll maybe reverse it, which I don't fucking understand. Right. Part of my French, but just reverse it, dude. Like how could I possibly scam if you're just sending it back to the address it came from? But whatever.
Yeah. So this was kind of funny. So, you know, they told me, yeah, it's over. Your money's gone. You know, we don't accept that. So about a year later, they finally start carrying actual Polygon. And I just hop on my Coinbase one day and like the funds are just there now. So it was like a forced hold, but it was actually a good thing. You know what I mean? It was worth like 3 times what it was when I sent it there to sell. But that was like a nice little surprise for sure.
I hope that someday happens to me, but I kind of doubt it now that I think about it because that would have been multi-chain USDC.
Well, speaking of Polygon.
Yeah, what's going on over there?
I saw there was a new hire. And
Ooh, I've got a banner for this.
Get the Sonic Poachers. Yeah, new hires coming through. I guess they're gearing up. You know, they got this guy Johan. I think it's Johan. Apologies on that. But yeah, handling DeFi growth and previously at Polygon. So I imagine that's a pretty big hire. You know, it's nice to, you know, I know like last run, Fantom was kind of notorious for sort of being on like a skeleton crew. And I feel like for Sonic, you know, they're trying to do everything, you know, everything they can. And I think this is when you're a new chain, this is like a really good hire. You know, everybody's got stuff they're doing every day. And it's like, it's good to have that guy that is like focused on DeFi.
Yeah, what does that mean, DeFi growth? So like I got a DeFi project, I come talk to him, throw me a couple stacks, couple racks, so I can run my money up.
Yeah, I mean, what I imagine is it's probably, you know, more like a biz dev kind of position, but focused on, you know, getting DeFi projects and, you know, talking to people and, you know, hunting for projects and all that good stuff. So I'm sure there's more to the job than just that, but when the people I know that are in similar positions, that's typically what it is they're kind of like advising on what the chain can do to get more DeFi stuff going on. And then, yeah, at the same time, kind of like running like a biz dev kind of position, like chatting with the protocols and helping onboard and all that good stuff. So that's exciting, man. That's a big get.
Oh yeah, Johan himself, dude. So Johan, you'll be hearing from me and my people shortly. So get them.
Yeah, Corval's gonna make sure you're paying your weekly tithe to the system here so that you can keep your job.
To the boys in Philly.
Ain't seen 10 bands in your life, Jit. You ain't seen 10.
Yeah, you ain't seen 10 bands in your life, Jit.
Oh man. So yeah, that was pretty good. There was another hire too. They kind of announced them back to back. This guy, OX Seg. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So DevRel, which is a good, another good hire, another good thing to see. DevRel is usually more like actually helping with like the kind of like nitty gritty sort of questions for builders. Someone like Johan is more like going out to get the protocols, and then DevRel is more like, the protocols starting to build stuff. Maybe they have like a technical question about, something like about how it works on Sonic. So yeah, making big moves though, man. I'm glad to see it.
Right on. Yeah, I'm liking to see the team grow, and they're putting this stuff in here that really kind of facilitate growth of the ecosystem here, right? Some developer relations stuff, some DeFi stuff specifically. We're getting a little bit more niche, a little more targeted with our hires and focus.
Yeah. Yeah. Feels like
Sonic will have no excuse but to succeed at this rate.
Yeah. I just think that they're gearing up, you know what I mean? And these are the things you want to see.
DevRel is like an onboarding manager IRL. That's what some guy said.
So he's like showing them the PowerPoints.
Yeah. So he's like HR.
He sits you down in the office and wheels in the TV and plays you the VHS HR video.
Yeah, the VHS video where Andre's like, this is Solidity.
Yeah.
This is a null pointer.
Yeah. Spooky had another pretty large update. They were laying out, just scrolling down here. Some housekeeping. Oh. Yeah, that's good to see. They said they removed multi-tokens from the default list. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good move as we're looking at onboarding new people. Don't want people to, swap their USDC accidentally for like some like multi version of USDC that's worth like 10 cents. Mm-hmm. So I like that move. New UI update, perfecting the routing, making everything as efficient as possible. And I'll say that about Spooky for sure. I mean, the UI is always crisp and fast, but look, they're showing here. I mean, look how fast this like pops up. So
wow.
Yeah, I like to see it.
Spooky's looking brand new.
Yeah, they've really done a lot, man.
Owen, what have you done?
Yeah. Then
giving steroids to that little cat. What the hell, Owen?
Yeah, and this is kind of interesting here. They're going to have a Spooky fork on a BTC L2 sidechain. So that's really big, man. If they're gonna have a DEX on one of these, Bitcoin L2s, I think that's pretty exciting. Yeah,
I've talked to a few people that work on those L2s, and they're scary as hell, dude, to me. They could be the next big thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how it plays out. I haven't really like messed with like the new ones. There's like a couple big new ones that are supposedly they run pretty well. Mm-hmm. I was playing around on some of the early ones, and it was still like not a very pleasant experience. It was still more like a headache just trying to figure out how to move stuff around, and everything was slow. And supposedly some of these new ones are, they've ramped up the speed and got some kind of system where, I'm guessing maybe it's like an escrow kind of deal or something where, your swaps are moving a lot faster. It was like super frustrating. When everybody was trading the what were those called on Bitcoin? Like the Bitcoin NFTs.
Yeah,
I'm drawing a blank, but
inscriptions or some shit like that.
yeah, like the well, not the inscriptions, the well, I guess it was inscriptions on
Ordinals.
Yeah, ordinals, that's what it was. It was so insane to me. Like part of your whole process was like there were things you had to do like 2 or 3 things to move an ordinal around, and you would get stuck right in the middle of trying to sell one and have to wait like 30 or 40 minutes for like an approval, or it was crazy. So you're like, imagine like, you know, a coin just went parabolic and you're trying to sell, and it's just like, cool, well, we put the order in, but yeah, it's gonna take like 30 or 40 minutes, so you're just gonna get kicked. So I had to quit messing with it for my sanity. I had a few wins with some ordinals, but I finally went, you know what, I'm taking my Bitcoin and I'm going home.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep my Bitcoin locked up. That's my plan. Once I get a Bitcoin ever in my life.
It's the way to do it, man. You know, it's like I tend to like, I just got a Bitcoin DCA going every week, and I try to just not even like look at it. But pretty big. I'll definitely check it out. I'll be curious to see how it moves.
Yeah, Spooky also running in the classic problem here of chains having to delay their release like they all do, every single one of them.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, I remember when he came on the show, we were like, this roadmap is bonkers. It was like new chain every month and new, you know, so very ambitious, but honestly, it's kind of like the classic scenario, right? I think what they're saying here is better than launching on new chains. Like, you know, I've learned my lessons over the years. I've done stuff on several chains, and I am a believer now in like, how about get your actual product refined as possible where it is on home base before you start, you know, going to other chains or whatever. Trader Joe kind of had a similar issue. They, you know, I feel like there wasn't actually like a lot to their swap on Avalanche, and they were quick to kind of like open up shop on other chains, and it didn't really get a lot of usage on the other chains because it just wasn't that like refined. There wasn't like a ton to it. So I think this is a better move to look within, get the product itself as slick as possible, you know, and worry about all that before you start hopping around.
For sure.
This is a big one, is the V3 farms. You know, that's something they've been kind of missing too, is having like emissions or, you know, things that you can use your boo on like V3.
They're launching it on the BitTorrent chain. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's more like they're testing it there.
The pirate cat.
But yeah, V3 farms, man, that's big. I mean, you know, V3, you know, you earn good fees, and those fees are coming to you in like Fantom or stable coin or whatever. That's really nice. So to have some like V3, you know, where you're earning your fees and you're earning some kind of like emissions, I think that's going to be like, that's going to be pretty big, I think. I mean, nobody's doing that on Fantom yet.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're getting Boo up and running on V3, because as you know, you used to be able to like stake Boo and earn other tokens and do stuff like that, earn fees from the exchange. And I guess that still wasn't up on V3 yet. So kind of comes back to what I was saying, you know what I mean? Where it's like, I think it's better to get this stuff ironed out and set up before you kind of like start venturing out to other chains, right? So,
please believe we are preparing for it and are extremely excited. Expect a new star on the horizon. I'm liking it. Spooky is cooking stuff up, dude. I'm so happy to see Spooky back in action.
Yeah, man, it's you know, it's been a while. Everyone was a little quiet during the bear, but
solidly, what does that mean? Some guy dropping alpha here? What does that mean?
Yeah, what we got there?
What does this mean? Some guy coughs solidly. What are you coughing solidly up for? Seeing solidly's back?
Well, I heard that Solidly has got a new version coming out or something. I don't think it's out yet, is it? Or am I wrong on that?
Well, Dr. Professor Solly's going to have to slide in my DMs, okay?
Oh, okay. He's using the example of, don't hop around a bunch of chains until like your product's working.
Oh, yeah.
Like we were kind of discussing. Yeah. And I agree with that.
Oh, yeah. There's a difficult, I guess, like mix of like incentives, I suppose, for a lot of teams where it's like you get a big influx of capital from grants, programs, and the like. And I think a lot of people, it's like easy money, right? To get like a grant if you got like a nice product, but like it's you got to run things close usually. I think. I mean, you're more of a developer than I am, Drac. But if you're like, so you start like a business, right? You got these operating costs. You're running the money supply down, and it's going to take a while for you to become profitable. So I think a lot of the times what happens is like people start like freaking out. They're like, "Holy shit, man, we're running low. We got to get more capital. Either launch another token or switch a chain."
Yeah, I just think you don't see it work out as much because usually projects that are successful on their native chain for a reason, and you're moving to a different chain. You're not necessarily first mover. It's you're kind of starting from scratch with a community.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not easy to do. Not a lot of people have really done it successfully. Now, some people don't mind. Some people, like if you're a DEX and you're available on multiple chains, you might be okay with it because you're like, hey, I still have my hub, and you can toggle kind of like Spooky. You can toggle between those other chains, or you can just use it on Fantom. So it's not always unsuccessful, but I just find, and in some ways it's kind of sad because I guess like how many years has everybody been saying, multi-chain future, every, you're going to have dApps in the future that have several chains running on it and you don't even know it. And, maybe we get there eventually, but it is funny how like tribalism still kind of rules over all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Yeah, it definitely does. And it's going to be that way, I think, for still a good little while, even though things are starting to change. I think you'll start to see like some like the bigger incumbents are already kind of moving into a multi-chain world, right? Like Uniswap, right? Like, does anyone give a shit like what chain they're on? Usually not really, because they can tap into that, right?
Yeah.
But you still
I mean, the big dogs, it's like people are excited for it, but that's about it.
Yeah. And then, I mean, yeah, there are always people also looking for that like extreme upside that new chains themselves seem to be able to promise. I mean, that's why I see like meme coins also being very popular, right?
Yeah. I mean, and we saw a crazy amount there was a ridiculous amount of infrastructure that came out in the bear market where, people were dropping chains like they were shit coins. It was crazy. Like we got enough chains right now, I think. Maybe not, but
yeah. I've been feeling like we've had enough chains for like a year and a half now. But I stopped paying to new ones being announced, paying attention to new ones being announced, to be honest. Once I heard about what was it, Sui, one of those 3-letter S ones, I was like, this is the last one I'm ever gonna look at. And I didn't even use it. I didn't even touch it. This is the last one I'm ever gonna look at.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so lucky for us, Sonic's not just another like, another flash in the pan, Optimism L2 3-day fork or something. You know what I mean? So
it makes sense because you know what it is to me? Like Andre likes Pokemon. It's an evolution, dude.
That's right. We're in level 2.
Yeah, this is Sonic evolving into, or it's Phantom evolving into Sonic.
Yeah, I think that's like pretty much all we got for today. Maybe I'll have a pair of goggles by the end of the week. We'll see.
Hell yeah. Well, folks, thanks for watching, I guess. We'll
see you guys at the end of the week. Peace.
Adios.